Hello. Did you know that vaccines are a medical need to decrease illness and death rates all over the world? The CDC reported that in 1950 there were 120,718 cases of pertussis, the whooping cough, resulting in 1,118 deaths. And in 2014, there were 32,971 cases reported and only 7 deaths. Of course, most of that statistic has to do with third world countries and people who do not have vaccines readily available to them. But it decreased a whole of a lot from 1950 to 2014, didn't it? I am an RN and I have seen the detrimental effects personally of unvaccinated children and adults. I work with children and it's always very important to educate the parents or the caregiver about why children need to be vaccinated. I will be letting you know the reasons, the causes of people who do not want to and people who do want to get vaccinated. We can all be exposed to diseases at any point in our lives by opting not to be vaccinated or encountering somebody who is not vaccinated and therefore experience its consequences, no matter where we live, what we do for a living. Somebody might not be vaccinated. They might not be from the city, from this country even, and we may encounter them and unfortunately experience why it is important to be vaccinated. The trend of people choosing to not vaccinate themselves or their children is escalating today. And I would like to persuade you to vaccinate and end the everlasting effects of vaccines. These are the main reasons why people do not vaccinate. Many people think vaccines lead to autism. Andrew Wakefield, a medical physician, published a paper in 1998 stating the MMR vaccine specifically caused autism. Well, that doctor is now no longer practicing medicine, was heavily fined because his information was false. The subject of his paper were very, very small, and not enough statistics were brought in and concluded to where autism resulted because of the MMR vaccine, which is the mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine. Autism, as we now know, is a genetic disease, illness. It is not contracted through vaccines. Another reason why is religion. Muslims and Jews specifically are hesitant because some of these vaccines may contain pork derivatives, and that is something that they do not consume due to religious purposes. Catholics and Christians are hesitant because they contain aborted fetuses derivatives. Not all vaccines. Some of them may contain a small amount, but these religions opt not to due to that. Now, do the risks outweigh them? Well, I guess it just depends on each Catholic, Christian, Muslim, or Jewish person. I think that vaccines should still be used, regardless of the pork or aborted fetuses derivatives that are contained in the vaccine. Reasons why people vaccinate are immunity protects us from diseases. For example, vaccines provide antibodies that help the body remember specific antigens that help fight diseases when they are introduced to it. Moms that vaccinate pass the immunity to their newborns. The Tdap, which is also the pertussis vaccine, is usually received by pregnant moms between 27 and 36 weeks. That is when it's deemed the strongest effect to pass through mom to child. And of course, this immunity is also passed through breastfeeding. Second reason is vaccines decrease medical treatment in the future. People who are vaccinated are less likely to get sick because the body recognizes the disease and fights it without medical intervention. So, because we have already received the vaccine, the body knows, oh, this is what it's like. And so now it has help and it fights it. Parents will also not lose time from work for themselves or their sick children. The third reason is immunizing helps protect the community itself, not just us, but everyone around us, everyone we encounter with at our school, our family, teachers, strangers. There is a lot of immunocompromised people in this world. For example, people who have cancer, AIDS and HIV, or who are just always sick. Immunocompromised people will not get vaccinated because sometimes those risks are stronger than the benefits they cause. But people who get vaccinated and are healthy decrease the risk of contracting a disease to them. And the last reason is death rates have gone down due to vaccines. Vaccines have eradicated diseases that killed people in the past. For example, polio or tuberculosis. Yes, there is cases of tuberculosis, but those cases have decreased immensely. We don't really see that anymore, especially not in the United States or our surrounding areas, due to one simple vaccine. A tiny little shot right here in the forearm and done. Electing to receive vaccines for you or your kids is the best option because it protects you and them from diseases. They provide lasting immunity, they save money on medical treatment or intervention in the future, and they shelter those who are immunocompromised from further damage. Educating yourself on the importance of vaccine and weighing out the benefits and risks helps prevent countless cases of diseases that save lives. I have here a little chart where it shows how old you have to be and what type of vaccines you have to get between those ages. So for example, birth, Hep B, 2 months, Hep B, DTaP, Hib, IPV, PCV, RV, and so on and so forth. You really stop receiving vaccines around 11 or 12. Then you just get optional your influenza vaccine, or you get boosters and titers. In my intro, I stated that we are all at risk of being exposed to diseases no matter where we live, and we may fall victims of these gruesome consequences of not vaccinating. So therefore, I hope the info I provided will persuade you to vaccinate yourself and your children. Obtaining one simple injection, like I explained about the Tdap and the TB shot on your arm that contains life-saving antigens can mean the difference between celebrating your child's second birthday or burying them on their second birthday due to the detrimental effects not vaccinating have. Thank you.